Hello, welcome to my first vlog. This is my local neighborhood in Eugene, Oregon. It's a college town and, well, the streets show it. I wish there's some example of garbage I could show you right now, but right here you can see there is lots and lots of garbage. That's a spell with that. You should see it after a party. Lots of trash everywhere. Zero home ownership in this neighborhood. So no one really cares about their neighbors or about noise or garbage or the homeless people going through their stuff. It's kind of just a laissez-faire kind of attitude around here. I have to say, it's interesting though, because for my whole life I thought suburbia was the creepiest, most evil thing there was. I thought that suburbia was the creepiest thing there was. And I always felt like residential neighborhoods with all those neighborhood watch signs and playgrounds everywhere. As a young man, it just feels like they're trying to outlaw you, like they want to keep out young strange men they don't know, and it just feels awkward as all being there. But now that I've lived in a place like this, where I see what true anarchy looks like, where just nobody gives a fuck about anything, I have to say, I can see the appeal of living in a nice residential suburb, especially if you have kids. That being said, though, some pretty hilarious stuff goes on around here. Just any hour of the night, any day of the week, you can hear drunk college kids screaming all kinds of funny shit. So it has that going for it. Also, one thing about Eugene, Oregon in particular, and that is awesome, is the fact that Oregon has one of the highest state minimum wages. In fact, the minimum wage here is $7.65 an hour, and state minimum wage is $9.75 an hour, and which is pretty high considering the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, and the lowest cost. Is it better to do this or like this? Oh, that's way better. And so you combine that extremely high minimum wage with a super low cost of living, and it actually makes it quite affordable if you're an entry-level kind of retail or service worker. And not to mention, because Eugene's a pretty poor area, no one makes a lot of money here, everything is cheap, like everything. Things that would be more expensive other places are cheaper here. Also, Oregon has no sales tax, so that means just about anything you buy is going to be about 10% cheaper than elsewhere in the United States. So that's pretty cool. In addition to that, if you're low income, there are a plethora of services for you to pay your utilities, help you with housing. The economy in Lane County is not good enough to kick you off a food stamp, so you can get food stamps year-round on a continuing basis as an adult without dependents, which is hard to do with other places because they kick you off the benefits after only 3 months. Thanks, Bill Clinton. So, those are the economic practicalities of living around here. The town itself is quite pleasant for the most part. It was founded essentially, it's founded much earlier than that, but it was kind of recolonized and became the current Eugene that we all live and know, as a bunch of hippies from the Bay Area moved up here and kind of took it over. And it's really kind of one of the last vestiges of total hippiedom. Like, everyone here is just very friendly. It's just a powerful part of the culture here. It's not even political. I mean, it's very political here, but it's not even, the friendliness isn't political. It's simply people just care about treating other people well. And that's actually kind of rare, honestly. At least most places I've lived. And one thing you'll definitely get used to walking around this area is the smell of cannabis. It is in the air everywhere. It is widely smoked, and I know this will surprise a lot of you out there in the rest of the United States, but this is completely legal. Anyone can who's 21 and over can walk into a store and buy it. You can order off a menu like a gentleman, and no cops beat you. That's wonderful. You can walk by the police with weed in your hand. Well, as long as it's not out of the bag. You can walk by, if it's open, then it's like an open container. But you can walk by with your handful of weed and go, "Hello, officer," and wave the weed at them. They don't care. They'll just think it's funny too. Although, hell, I mean, even before it was legal, you could smoke it anywhere you wanted. No one cared. That's even more so the case now. It's funny, actually, the widespread availability of cannabis has actually caused me to smoke much less of it than I used to. Well, at first I smoked a lot more, but now that I have access to it and I've been to every store and tried most of the strains, it's lost a lot of the allure. And now it's kind of everyday, regular thing. Although I do believe that cannabis will always have a countercultural quality to it, simply because the effect it has on the mind is to open and expand it and to make one question previously established ways of thinking and just look at their world through a different lens. Just blows up the ego as you see out beyond it. So this trek we're on right now, this is from my apartment to my local Safeway. It's about 6 blocks, not too bad. It's actually a sunny day, so I could have ridden my skateboard, but I opted to walk to make this vlog. Skateboarding with groceries is always fun because you have to make sure you have proper weight equilibrium. Otherwise, you will tilt off the board, and it's really awkward. This is what my approach looks like. I hope that glare isn't hurting you too badly. So yeah, parting thoughts about Eugene. This is a great place to live if you're a college student, or if you like being around just young people in their 20s, especially people who are very creative, very political, and you want to be in a place where you feel like, hey, this is just like being in Berkeley, only with rent that's a fifth of the price, and Oakland isn't next door. Or, you know, any other number of towns. This is really, Eugene, Oregon is basically the epicenter of progressivism, and it has all the attributes of a large city that you want. The urban density, just the availability of various goods and products, and just the intellectual factor, and the multicultural factor, as there are a great many different kinds of eateries and cuisines here. All of these things are wonderful, and yet, we have all these things, and yet, Eugene is a town of only 157,000 people. Which means you get it's really the largest small town ever. I used to say that about Portland. I made that joke that Portland was the smallest big town ever, or the biggest small town ever. But actually, no, it's Eugene. Eugene is the smallest town, biggest small town I've ever lived in, because it's true. You walk around, you just see everyone you know walking out in the street, and everyone's so friendly. Once you meet one person, you meet all their friends, and pretty soon you know everyone here. It's really a good place. Anyhow, I'm approaching the store, so I have to go, but it's nice talking to you, and have a good day.